There are places in the world where silence feels heavier than sound, places where even the birds don't dare to sing, where the wind carries whispers instead of rustling leaves. The locals call them deadwoods. Outsiders call them cursed. I grew up near one of those places. The forest at the edge of our small town was known as Black Pines. It was dense, oppressive, and old, older than the town itself. No one went in after dark. Children were told stories about people who vanished among its trees, hunters who never returned, campers who woke up screaming with eyes that didn't see anymore. I never believed those stories, not until the night I went in myself. It started as a dare. I was 16, restless, and desperate to prove myself to a group of friends who thrived on stupid risks. We sat around a bonfire on the edge of Black Pines, the flames painting our faces orange, laughter masking the unease in our voices. "Bet you can't make it to the old Ranger's Tower," Ryan said, smirking. The tower was a crumbling relic hidden deep in the forest. No one had been inside in decades. They said the last ranger went mad, raving about voices in the woods before he disappeared. I didn't hesitate. "Fine, I'll bring something back to prove it." Everyone laughed, but their eyes darted nervously toward the wall of trees. Even in daylight, Black Pines looked wrong. At night, it was a mouth waiting to swallow you whole. Still, I grabbed a flashlight, swallowed my fear, and stepped into the dark. The air grew colder the deeper I went. The bonfire's glow disappeared behind me, swallowed by endless black trunks. My flashlight beam trembled in my hand, illuminating claw-like branches and roots that curled across the ground like veins. The forest was silent, too silent. No crickets, no owls, no distant cars, just my footsteps and the occasional snap of a twig. After a half hour, I saw it, the Ranger's Tower, looming between the trees like a skeleton of rotting wood and rusted metal. Its steps creaked under my weight as I climbed, my light cutting through the dark. At the top, I found the cabin. The door hung crooked, the windows shattered. Inside, dust coated everything. But one thing caught my eye: a notebook, lying open on the desk as if someone had been writing in it only yesterday. I picked it up. The first page was filled with frantic handwriting. "They're in the trees, not animals, not men, hollow faces. They whisper my name. They don't want me to leave." The last entry ended mid-sentence, the ink smeared as though the writer had been dragged away. I should have left right then, but when I turned toward the stairs, I saw something move in the trees below. Something pale. At first I thought it was fog, a thin white shape between the trunks, but then it shifted, stretching upward, revealing long limbs and a face with no features, just smooth skin and a mouth that opened wider than it should. It tilted its head, and though it had no eyes, I felt its gaze pierce me. Then came the whisper. "Stay." The word wasn't sound. It was in my head, cold and invasive, like fingers probing my thoughts. I stumbled back, dropping the notebook. My flashlight flickered, the beam struggling as if something drained its power. When I looked again, the figure was gone. But the whisper wasn't. I don't remember leaving the tower. One second I was inside, the next I was running through the forest, branches clawing at my skin, my lungs burning. I just wanted out. But the woods had changed. The path was gone. Every direction looked the same, black trees stretching forever. My flashlight died, plunging me into darkness so complete I couldn't see my own hands. That's when the whispers grew louder. This way, closer, Don't leave us." I screamed, covering my ears, but the voices weren't in the air. They were in me. My head pounded, my vision blurred, and I felt something brushing against my neck. Cold breath. I swung blindly and ran again. Hours must have passed, maybe days. Time didn't feel real anymore. Eventually, I stumbled into a small clearing. In the center stood 3 people. A man, a woman, and a child. Their clothes were old, faded. Their skin was gray, stretched tight over bone. Their eyes were black holes. They turned to me in unison. The child spoke first, though its mouth never moved. "We stayed too long." The woman reached out, her fingers long and skeletal. "Now we're a part of it." The man's hollow voice was the worst. "And so will you." I backed away, but behind me, more figures emerged from the trees, dozens of them, pale and faceless, surrounding me. I collapsed to my knees, shaking, waiting for them to take me. But then they vanished. When I opened my eyes, it was dawn. I was lying at the edge of the forest, my friends hovering over me. "Dude, where the hell were you? You've been gone all night!" Ryan shouted. I tried to speak, but my throat was raw. I couldn't tell them what I'd seen. Not because they wouldn't believe me, but because the whispers hadn't stopped. Even now, standing in the sunlight, I could hear them. "Don't tell. Don't leave. You're ours now." I thought it would fade with time, but it didn't. It's been 10 years since that night. I moved away, tried to start over. I don't go near forests anymore. I keep lights on at night. I avoid silence. But none of it helps. I see them everywhere now. Reflections in windows, shadows in the corner of my room, pale faces watching me from across the street. They never get closer, but they never leave either. The whispers are constant. They tell me things I don't want to hear. Dark secrets. Terrible urges. Last night I woke up standing at the edge of another forest, barefoot, and no memory of walking there. And I know what it means. I didn't escape Black Pines. I never left.